going through the 100 or so videos on my channel and the large number of game rooms I've gone through for the last 5 or 6 years, I realized the one game room I don't have on my channel is my own game room. And there are reasons for that. Most of them being I don't really have a game room. It's more of a game house with many different game areas, and it's not all in the same location. So I'm just going to do a quick little walkthrough of my game room, or what constitutes my game room. Like, this is my living room. No need for furniture when you got the games here, right? And I'll also go through what kind of got me started in all this lunacy. So let's start. Here we are at the game station. This is kind of where it started for me. Now, it actually started in the early 80s. I started playing video games. Played video games from the 80s all the way into probably the early 90s. Didn't really play pinball at all. I was a video game guy. So around 2003, I discovered MAME, which, if you don't know what that is, it's an emulator. You can play all the old video games with it. And I ran it on my PC, and that really wasn't good enough. So I actually got this control panel from Slick Stick, which was a company, I believe, in New Jersey. I think they eventually went bankrupt, and actually a lot of people got screwed out of money, if I remember. But you got the control panel. That wasn't enough, so we got the whole cabinet thing going here. We got a marquee, got some nifty little side art, and at first I was just going to put the games I played when I was a kid, but then I ended up just getting like every MAME game, of course, because I had to have everything. But then after a while that wasn't enough. So I had a theme with this. It's called the game station, and everything is different stations. This is like the arcade station, and then there's the pin station, and the NES station, and the laser station, and the Sega, the Genesis station, and the Atari station. Well, that's kind of where that started. So after I had that, I got the next thing, Galaga. This is the game I probably played the most when I was a kid, or at least the one I remembered the most. It was always everywhere. There was always a Galaga at every different arcade I was ever at. They always had one of these. So it's not original. It's actually like a repro game that I'm overpaid for. But it plays good. Not much more to say about that. Back to the game station. On the side of the control panel, you notice they put little flipper buttons there. So that kind of led me to downloading the Visual Pinball with the PinMAME emulator. You need both parts. Visual Pinball actually has the games, or the actual playfield and everything, and the PinMAME runs the ROM part of it. And I started to get into pinball this way, actually. Before I really started to play any real games, this is what I was playing. And this is how I got into it. Loading. Like this. And you know, the physics aren't the best on a lot of these, but some of them play really, really well. Like, I played a ton of the firepower here. So that's how I got into pinball, was actually through this. Then I had to do the real thing. So I ended up going to Allentown Pinball Show in 2004. That was the first pinball show I ever went to. Soon after that I picked up Black Knight, my first game. Went to my first pinball expo in Chicago, where I told some guy that I had one game and that's all I would own, and he laughed at me and said I was in denial. And he was right. As little did I know. End up with all these. So this is game room number, I don't know, 2. This is actually my living room. Got the TV there. You know, fairly normal looking living room. Got a bookcase, we got TV, but then you get over here and you got like 3 pinball machines. I got a No Fear that's wrapped up in the corner. Then we kind of look normal. We got the chair with the stand, but then it gets weird again as we got the game station next to it. So that's this room. We got the Dracula, got AC/DC, and Dirty Harry. It's actually 2 Barry Oursler games and then a Steve Ritchie game in the middle. In my house I got 2 bedrooms. One's normal, actually has a bed in it, and you know, a typical bedroom. The other one is this one, which I have. We got a Spider-Man Black, we got a World Cup Soccer, T3, and F-14 Tomcat. If you see a pattern of lots of Steve Ritchie games, that is true. I would say probably 80% of my collection are Steve Ritchie games, because that's what I like. So this I call game room, I guess, number 1. Living room would be game number 2. So now for game room number 3. Kind of dark in here, so probably won't come out too good, but lots of parts. And here are the other games. So if you're counting, that's 8 at my house, and now 6 here. And we got, I don't know how readable any of this is. This is a HS2 High Speed, Family Guy, Roller Games, miss my roller games, Star Trek The Next Generation. It's got to be Getaway with the shifter. Or not Getaway, what am I saying? It's got to be, oh, it's Terminator 2. The gun handle. Yeah, there it is, T2. And last but not least, Black Knight 2000. So the 8 games you saw in game rooms 1 and 2 will be going here. And the Galaga will probably be sitting right around here. Okay, here we are in game room number 4, which this is actually my parents' basement, and another home for some of my games. So I have games in my house, games in storage, and games here. We have a Flash. I don't have the back lesson right now. Firepower. And my first game that I ever bought. Almost 10 years ago now. Black Knight. Still with me. Actually, I got my new high score on it like just less than a week ago. I've been asked a lot of times at shows, like, what's your favorite game? And I never really have an answer. I'd say I don't have a particular favorite. I like a lot of games. But if I had to say one game that I had to name, this would probably be it. Firepower. Never get tired of playing this game. This is a pretty nice example. Got this from off of eBay, actually. My third purchase. Also overpaid. It was from Canada. Came from Canada. And the Flash. And finally, Gameroom number 5, which really isn't a game room. Again, in my parents' house. This is the living room. So I'm not the only one with games in my living room. Actually, this is here because my father insisted on being able to watch the television while playing. So that's why this one's up here. 9-ball. I'd like to get a lot more classic Sterns. I really like the classic Sterns. Back at Gameroom number 2. Hope you enjoyed the tour. One of my main reasons for doing this now is because all these games, these 3 and the 4 games in Gameroom number 1 and the Galaga will all be going into storage sometime in the next couple of weeks, because I'm going to be getting the house fixed up and putting it on the market for sale to hopefully get a bigger house where I can actually have all these games and all the ones you saw in storage all set up in one place. So whenever that happens, year, 2 years, hopefully not that long, but whenever that happens, I'll do a second Gameroom video. We'll see how everything turned out. See you later.